Now we can convert between fractions, decimals and percentages. The rule when converting fractions to percentages is to multiply by 100. So in this case we multiply 11/12 by 100, cancel down where appropriate, and that's why we end up with 275 thirds. But that is an improper fraction, and so we do our improper fraction thing and we end up with 91 2/3%. When converting from fractions to decimals, we simply divide, because this fraction line is also a division symbol. So this really means 3 divided by 4. So when we divide 4 into 3 and work with the decimals appropriately, we end up with 0.75. To convert from percentages to decimals, we simply shift the decimal place 2 spots, either to the left or the right, depending on what we're doing. In the 35% case, we simply call that 0.35 because we shift the decimal place 2 places to the left. When it's 0.4, converting that to a percentage, we shift the decimal place 2 places to the right, and that's why it becomes 40%. To convert percentages to fractions, we simply put the percentage over 100 because that's what a percentage is. So 20 over 100 cancelled down becomes 1/5. When we're converting decimals to fractions, we simply need to understand what the place value of the decimal is. And in the first case, decimal 5 means 5/10, and when we cancel that down, we end up with 1/2. And decimal 306 is 306 over 1,000, and we can cancel that down to 153 over 500. Now we can operate with fractions and decimals and percentages as well. In this case, we're using dollars. We could use marbles or staplers or whatever, but we're using dollars because it's sort of more realistic. In this first case, 4/5 of $17, well, we're going to turn this into a fraction multiplication situation, so that's why it becomes 4/5 times 17 over 1, and nothing cancels, so we end up with 68 over 5, which is an improper fraction, so we do our improper fraction thing, and we end up with 13 3/5 dollars. But what's 3/5 of a dollar? Well, let's work out what 3/5 of 100 cents is, and when we cancel down, that's 60 cents, so therefore it's $13.60. When we take a percentage of an amount, we turn the percentage into a fraction, which is 30 over 100, and we times by 16 over 1 in this case. Cancel down, we end up with 24/5, which as a mixed number is 4 4/5. When we look at what 4/5 of 100 cents is, we work out it's 80 cents, and that's why it's $4.80. To find a decimal of an amount, we just use the multiplication algorithm, but cater for decimals. If there's 2 decimal places in the question, there's 2 decimal places in the answer, and so that's why the answer is $2.31. You times by 100, you divide the denominator into the numerator, you shift the decimal place 2 places left or right. It just goes on and on and on.